All we have passed our childhood in watching Mowgli, the famous TV character. And to think of Mowgli is to think of Jungle Book, our then childhood favorite TV serial. And to think of Jungle Book is to obviously think of Rudyard Kipling, the 1907 Nobel awardee, the imperialist poet, the modernist writer, short story writer and a novelist. Hi guys, this is GD Sharma and you are with me in my channel Learn with Dr. GD Sharma, and we are continuing this 5 minutes literature series. So today we are going to discuss some important facts about Rudyard Kipling. But before we go, please subscribe the channel so that these videos reach you the earliest. Let's go ahead. Rudyard Kipling is given the credit of being the innovator in the art of short stories. And influenced by his writing and approach towards literature, the famous modernist writer George Orwell called him the prophet of British imperialism. He wrote his famous The Jungle Book for his daughter Josephine. The book is in the form of fables using animals in an anthropomorphic manner to give moral lessons. The book allegorizes the social and the political scenario of the time, and the verses the law of the jungle lay down the rules for safety for all the animal characters in the book. The stories Rikki Tikki Tabi and the story of Mongoose are included in this book. His best collection of short story is Just So Stories, in which Mowgli hears about the stories of many animals who were modified from their original to the present form by the act of men. The stories include like how the tiger got its stripes, how the elephant enlarged its trunk, how the whale got its fins, and the like. His famous novel Kim is a picaresque novel, and the story of this novel unfolds against the backdrop of the Great Game, a political conflict between Russia and Britain in Central Asia. The story is a detailed portrayal of Indian culture, people, and religion. His famous poem Ganga Din was published in his martial poems called the Barrack Room Ballads. The poem contrasts callous and cruel British soldiers against the heroic water bearer named Ganga Din. Ganga Din, who saved the life of British soldiers by just giving them water, but unfortunately, callously, quite cruelly, he was shot dead by the British soldiers. His poem The White Man's Burden was originally written for Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee, but was later on exchanged for his poem Recessional. The poem reflects on the subject of American colonization of the Philippines, recently won from Spain in Spanish-American War. The poem is in the form of rhetorical command to the white men, to the white people, to colonize and rule the other nations for the benefit of those people. The title of the poem becomes symbolic of both of Eurocentrism and of Western aspiration to dominate the developing world. Rudyard Kipling's The Last of the Light Brigade was used by Virginia Woolf in her novel To the Lighthouse. His famous poem If was a tribute to Leander Starr's Jameson. The poem is a literary example of Victorian Stoicism. The famous writer Khushwant Singh said about this poem, it is the essence of the message of the Gita in English. In his article, The Proof of the Holy Writ, Rudyard Kipling postulated that William Shakespeare had helped polish the prose of King James Bible. About San Francisco, Rudyard Kipling writes, it is a mad city inhabited for the most part by perfectly insane people, whose women are of remarkable beauty. Rudyard Kipling is associated with Boer poems, and his autobiography Something of Myself was published in 1937, which illustrates racism and imperialism. Thanks for watching.